Hello and how are you? My name is Mahindo Barak and I welcome you to another video of learning how to create web applications using Laravel. In today's video, we're going to get introduced to something very interesting, and that is Laravel Eloquent, or what you can call Laravel Eloquent or Laravel models. So in today's video, we're going now to look at what you call the M in the MVC architecture, or what you call the models. So in MVC architecture, as we discussed about it, you have what you call model, view, and a controller. So I've already looked at a view. We know what's meant by a view, where we looked at blade and layouts, okay? Then looked at controllers and routing. You know what is meant by a route and what's meant by what? By a controller. So now we are going to look at another part of it, which is the last one, which you call the model. So the model is what we're going to look at today. So without wasting much time, let's go straight into learning our today's topic. So a model, as it sounds, is nothing but a structure of data that we're going to use, what you can call data structure. So in simple terms, a model is going to be a class that you're going to be using to control a certain type of of data. And you can use that class to communicate to its respective table in the database. So if you want, maybe let us say that you have something called users table in the database. So if you want to get something that will be working with the users table, for example, inserting data into the users table, collecting data from the users table, preparing what should be the data of users table to be displayed, or doing something before you save data in the users table. So something that can do all that logic about a specific data type is what we call a model class, or what you can call a model. So in the previous class, we got introduced to migrations and were able to create to create our migrations, or to create tables in our database. You remember when we created a comments table, we created news post table, we created also news categories tables, etc. And if you come to our database, you'll find them here. Now in our today's class, I'm going to take you from there, whereby we are going to look to link these tables that we created into our real data, or into our real application, and to see how we can communicate between these tables and the data, or with our real project. So a link that something that is going to link us between this table and our application. The simple thing that can link with us is a model for now. There are so many ways, for example, using SQL, etc. But for now, we're going to use a model, and we learn anything, or the power of Laravel Eloquent model, and then we now see how we can also use other ways. So I've spoken so many things, and I'm sorry to do that, because I was just trying to explain what's meant by a model if it's your first time. So by the time we start doing the practicals, which is going to be right now, you should not be You should not be confused. So as I said, that we began by creating our migrations, or the tables. So the next thing, you're going to create the respective models that we're going to use to communicate with these tables. So by default, Laravel comes with its own one model for users. So if you want to find where the models are, you just simply go into your project, then your application, then you'll find models. So the models will be here. So if you click on this user model, you'll find a default user model that comes with with Laravel. Okay? But for now, we're going to generate our own. Maybe you're going to generate the model for the model for news post. Okay? Let us begin, or maybe the model for for news category, something like that. Okay? Then after creating this model, you can create also other models as you proceed, but you can decide also to create all of them at once. But we're going to begin by this one, and then after we'll create the remaining models. So we're going to create a model of news categories, so that we can link this news category with our application. So to do that, we come to documentation of Laravel. So Laravel has a very good documentations about Laravel models, or what you call Laravel Eloquent. Okay, so just simply come to Laravel and then click on Eloquent. Then you'll see the details about creating a model, or how about to manage a model. But for now, I'm not going to take you through all the details. But in your free time, you can come here under the documentation of Laravel and go to the Eloquent part, and then you'll see the details. So the first question is, how do we create a model? So let us copy our command of creating the model. So I'll copy the command, and then I'll come to I have my text file here where I put my commands that I don't want to repeat myself. So I'll put the command here, and so it is PHP artisan make, then colon, then model, and then the what, and then the name of your model. So the name of the model should be in format of a class, a PHP class model. So it should be in camel case. In other words, it should begin with a capital letter, and the beginning of every English letter, it should be a capital word, and it should not be in plural format. Okay, I repeat, it should begin with a capital letter, and every beginning of each English word should be in capital, and it should not be in plural format. So in fact, so since we are going to create our model for what? For news categories. So since it is news, I'll come here and put news category like that. Okay, it should be news category like as I've written it. So for example, if we say that, okay, we're going to make a model for what? For news post, it will be PHP artisan make, and then model, and then a news, then post, like this, not news posts. Okay, so it should be capital letter at the beginning of each English word, and it will always begin with a capital letter. That's called camel case. Okay, so I'm going to run this command to generate for us the news category model. So I'll go ahead and expand my terminal. I can clear my screen, and then I run the command. So when I press enter, it will generate for us a news model. So everything was successful. So if I press Ctrl and click here, it will take me straight to the model. Or you can just simply find it under your project, under app, under model, and then you'll find there the name of the model of what you've just created. So that means we have created we have successfully created our model. We have created our model successfully. So the first thing that we're going to begin with, we're going to begin working with this model. Okay, we're going to begin by working with this model. So what we're going to do, we are going to create different things. For example, we're going to look at how we can first save the data to the database using the model. We're going to begin by looking how we can save the data to the database using our model. So let's do that first. Okay, so we're going to just simply come to our project. This is our project. So what I'm going to do, maybe I'm going to put here some links that are going to take us to different examples, that are going to take us to different examples. For example, I'm going to put here another topic called model, and then in that we'll put maybe a logic that can take us to the model. Okay, so to do that, we just simply come to our home page, our layout. Okay, our layout. Okay, so don't mind about, I'm just trying to put the link so you can simply our things can be well organized. Okay, so the first thing, I'm going to come to our resources, then views, then layouts, and then here in the main controller on this menu of ours, we're going to put maybe another sub-menu called maybe models. Maybe it can be H2. I can put maybe models. Okay, and then after we put now our first task on the model. saving data. Okay, so how to save data into database. So we can copy this and come here, put maybe we say this route is called model and then dash saving. Okay, so that's the name of the route. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this route and then put here the name saving data model, saving data to database. So let's go ahead and add this route into our routes. So I'll come to our web. Let me collapse everything. I come to our routes and then web route. And I'm going to create a route that we're going to use to demonstrate saving a model. So I'll put here the route called model saving, and I give it also a name, and give it a name called model saving. Okay, so we're going to create now for it a function that is going to work on this logic of saving model. So I'll put here model saving, but remember function cannot have hyphen, so it have to be underscore like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this function inside this main controller. So I can press Ctrl and click here, so I can jump straight to here. So this is the place. So I'm going to add here another function for saving the model. So I'll just duplicate this guy and then come here and paste here model saving. So instead of returning here, I'm just going to put here die and say time to save the model, like this. Okay, so I save. So if I come here and refresh, I hope you've understood. What we've done is just created this web and then the route called model saving, and then we have given it a name called the model saving. Okay, called model saving, so you can be able to reference it. And we have just created a method or function inside the main controller that we're going to put the logic of model saving. And we have also added this one in our layout. Okay, so you can have a link in case someone clicks there, he's taken to that route. So let's go ahead and do that logic. So I'll come here and refresh. So that is our project. So you see we have here another link of model. So if I click on saving, you see we have time to save the model. Okay, so here we are going to put now our logic of how we can save the model. So let's go ahead and do that now. So we're going to put here the logic in this controller, okay, where it is. So the first thing that we're going to do, we are going to create an instance of the model that we want to do that we want to save. So to do that, we'll just simply say m, okay, equals to new. So you're like creating a new class, okay. So you're going to call the model that we just created. Of course, the model that we just created is called what? News category, if you still remember. Okay, where is it? It is here under app, under models. Here, it is this one, news category. So I'm going to create its instance, okay? So I just simply say maybe m, or what I'm calling model, equals to new, and then I say news category like this. So if you have PHP interface, it will automatically import for you this news category. If you don't have PHP interface extension, you can find it here and add it. Okay, just simply search PHP, and then you'll see PHP interface extension. Go ahead and install it. Okay, this one, this guy. So if you already have it, then well and good. It will automatically import for you what is necessary. So if you cannot have it, then you can write this one automatically there. You can write there manually. So here, if I type in just new news category, you'll see it automatically. So it means that I'm just creating my first instance of news category there. So the next thing, we are going to initialize the values that we want to save. So to initialize the value that we want to save, these value names, they should be almost exactly. They should be exactly as those one in your table, right? So let us go ahead and so this is the news category. Let us go ahead and copy the columns of this table, and then we start initializing them. So I can put here just like this, just like that. Okay, I'm just putting there my columns so I can be able to look at one by one. So the first one is ID. ID to be generated by Laravel, so I leave it. The second one is the time when it was created. It also be generated by Laravel, I leave it. And the last one, another one is updated at. It will also be generated by Laravel, I also leave it. So those one I leave them. So now there is name. So the name of this category. So let's go ahead and add the name of this category, M, and then we put name of category. So our first category name, it can be maybe equals to politics. Okay, politics. So this is the first, our news category name, politics, like this. Okay, and then the photo, I can put maybe no pic or no image.jpg. I put no underscore image.jpg. So that's maybe a default photo for no image. And then details, I can put some details about politics. Okay, put here detail and put maybe news details about politics. Okay, so those are the parameters that we need. So after doing like that, if you do like that and you leave it there, it is not going to save. So I refresh. You see, this is where we are. This is the last page. So after processing, okay, let me put here maybe done processing, something like this. Okay, so if we put here refresh, you see done processing. But if we come to our table, there is nothing. Okay, if you come to the news table, there is nothing. So if you want to save this data into this table, what you do after initializing, the next thing you'll have to call the save function. So put save like this and save. So by doing like that, if you refresh here one time, you'll see it will process and then done processing. So if we come here and click on categories, you'll see everything was beautiful. When our post was successfully our news category has been successfully saved. So it is that easy and that fun and nice to do it, to communicate with the database using Laravel. So let us proceed. We create another category. Maybe we can create another category called maybe entertainment news. Entertainment. We process one time, it has successfully. Another one, we can put maybe celebrity, not celebrity and entertainment can be the same. Maybe we can put maybe business, if you refresh, success, and then maybe we can put maybe local news, success, and then maybe the last one, we can put maybe, what else? What else? Cinema. It almost sound the same as entertainment. Okay, maybe you can put education news. And if you refresh, that's it. So if we come here, we will have almost 5 categories added in our database. Here, news category. So you see, we have all the 5 news categories added in our database. So it is that fun and interesting to insert something in the database. So I'll comment this saving so that it should not save every time we come. So if I come and refresh, it should not save, of course. We should remain with those ones. So that is how we save data using Laravel Eloquent. Okay, that is how we save data using Laravel Eloquent or Laravel models. So we proceed to the next step, and that is going to be how we query data from the database. So if you want to see how we can query data, let us see how we can query data from what? From database. And that is another whole big topic. Okay? So we begin. So I'm going to add here in our model, I'm going to go to our layout and add another interface. So let us see, if we go back here, we are back to our home. So I'm going to add here another one for querying data. So let us go ahead and do that. So I'll simply come here to our main blade, and then we can put another one. You duplicate this one, say model query. Is it like this? Query, I don't know. So you can put maybe model querying or querying database, and let's go ahead and add it into the routes. So I'll come to routes and then add duplicate, Ctrl Shift, and then arrow down, or Ctrl Shift, Ctrl D. So duplicate that guy, paste, and then come here and change this one to model querying. So we're going to get this method and then give it also a name that we're going to reference to. So let us go ahead and just duplicate this saving method. So press Ctrl and press hit, so it will take us to this method, okay, in this control of our main controller. So in here, we are going to create another method. I just duplicate it that we're going to use to demonstrate the querying, how we query that database. So like I say, maybe done querying to see that, to make sure that you're on the right page. Done querying. So I save. If I come and refresh here, and you'll be able to see querying. So if I click on querying, you see done querying. So we have successfully reached there. So now we begin. How do we query? How do you collect data from database using the Laravel eloquent models? So the first way we have, by the way, you can come here to Laravel documentation to learn more details about. So under eloquent, you'll have what you call collection. So in collection, it is will have maybe how you can query the database, etc. Right? So the first thing is how we get the data from what? From the database. So to get data from the database, what we're going to do, we're going to begin by looking at if you want to get all the data from the database. So if you want to get all the data from the database, you just simply put here. So you can say maybe you can call it categories. For example, what we're going to do here, here what we're trying to do, we're trying to get the news categories that we've just saved. So you just say categories equals to category, news category, like this, and then put statically call the all method. So that is the first method, which is called all. So this all method, it's going to get all the data in the database of our news categories. So you can dump like this in Laravel, okay? If you want to dump everything that is in a variable, just simply put dd, dump and die, and then put whatever you want to dump. So if I come and refresh here, I'll be able to see 5 elements that has come from what? From our database. You can see them. So this element come with a lot of things, okay, that come from what? From database, okay. But the whole point is it has brought to us the data that we expected from database. That is very good. So if I want to loop through these queries, I can as well loop through them by using a for each. So let us go ahead and loop, and by just simply saying for each, and then here we put the category that we are looping, and then here put a key if you want to collect a key, and then you put here maybe a value, what you can call now a single category, okay? So if I want to dump this single category, I can just simply put dd, and then it will be able to dump for me that particular category. So if I save, come and refresh, you'll see that I've got this category. The table is called news category. And so by the way, if you, in case you did not get this data, sometime if you do not write correct categories, correct table names, it means that your data may not connect. I would have said this earlier, but I've said it late. And you may need to specify the table in case your data does not connect. Okay, so in case your model is not related to your what? To your table. Most cases, in case if you don't use the same nomenclature or the same way of naming the table and the model, it means that your things will not be automatically linked. So to solve that, you can solve it by manually naming the name. So you can come here to news category, for example, to your model, and then you can specify the table where this model should be linked to, like this, by just simply putting protected, and then you put table, and then you put the name of the table that is in your database, like this. So by like that, so even if you don't use maybe the same way how we named our tables, it will be able to do what? To link up in case it fails to automatically link. Okay, so that is also a way in case you fall that problem. I would have told you this earlier, but I did not get a problem. Okay, so now we are in this point. We are at this point where we are able to access and loop the models. Now assume that I want to display maybe the category ID and its title or its name. So I can just simply access it by using, so I can say echo, and then I put here the category ID. So I put open brackets and then put cut and then ID, and then I put dot, and then I put here cut and then name, and then put here maybe a BR tag like this, and then I remove this die and dump, and then put here maybe done, whatever. So by doing like this, we'll be able to get all the everything that has been accessed from our database. I mean that has been saved from in our database. So if I come and refresh, you can see all has come. Okay, all has come. So let me refresh again. Can you see? Politics, entertainment, business, news. So that is how we communicate with database using Laravel eloquent models. Okay, so that is one way. So this method, we use it to collect everything that is in a specific table of a specific model. So let me put here maybe H1 or H2 and call this guy all. So I can just simply echo H2. Okay, so that's how you can get everything that was in a table using Laravel models eloquent. Okay, so we proceed to another one, which is where. So the where, we also use it to query the database with conditions. So to create a where statement, so I'll come here, I'll put a comment and say where. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to get maybe categories which have some condition. So let's say maybe we need categories which have, okay, let's say we want categories which have a title called local. So to do that, we are going to just simply say maybe local news. Let us say, okay, maybe categories equals. So you put the category model, news, category. So it can be any model, and then put a colon, double colon, and then put where. Then you open, then put a square bracket. So this is an array. So this array is going to take conditions. And the way how we take conditions, it begin with a key, and then the condition. So this where, this first one, which is the key, is going to be the table column, and then this condition is something that's going to be equated to. So you're going to put here where, so you can say where name equals to local, like this. And then after you have written that, then you have to put get. So if you don't put get, they will not get you the what? They will not get you the categories themselves. Okay, let us first leave the get and we see what we'll get. So I go ahead and dump these categories by putting dd and then put the categories like this. So if I come and refresh, I'll be able to see I've been given back the query and the table where it will come from, and then here some operators. Okay, so these are the possible operators, by the way. We can also play with them later. So these are the operators. So in other words, there is nothing that you've got. There's no any information that we've done that we've got. So let's put these operators for now. So the next thing that you have to do here, you have to put get. So when you write where, you should always remember to put get, so they can bring you back the item that you want. So you can see here we're having only one category that has come. So let us do it like this. Let us do it like this. Okay, let us go ahead again and loop and see. So I'll put here maybe where with where, and then put here categories. Okay, so if I loop, you'll be able to see that we're getting only a category which has what? Which has the where that satisfies. So what did we put in our where? We put something with local. I mean, where the name is go to local. So it had to fetch for us only where the name was local. So if we put maybe where name is entertainment, okay, where name is entertainment, so it means that we'll have to fetch for us where name is entertainment. So you can do a combination of this. So what if you want maybe with an and, okay, we need to get category whose name is entertainment and ID is 2. So to do that, you put comma and then you put here and. I mean, sorry, you put here the second condition is going to be ID, and then you can say ID equals to 2. Then you put maybe 2 like this. So by doing like this, it's going to combine this one with a what? With an and. So if I refresh, you can see it has combined it with a what? With an and. So it means that if I put here maybe where ID is equal to 4, it means this one will be true and this one will be false. Because the ID of entertainment is 2, but here I'm passing the ID 4. So I'll get no result. You can see in the where there is no any result. So you can do as many combinations as you want by simply passing your condition in that kind of what? In that kind of an array. So you can add as many conditions as you want, and it will keep on complementing. It will keep on adding them as what? As and. So that is how you pass the where, and that's how you pass the and. So I hope you've done what? You've understood. So if we put here 2, it will have to get for us the where and the and. So that is one way. So the other way is in case you want to get an O, okay? You want to get an O because most of the time you may need to get what? You may need to get, this was one and. Now what if you want to get with an O? So if you want to get an O, let us say that you want to get a name which is either having the title of entertainment or having the ID of politics. So if you want to do such operation, this is what you do. So I'll just copy this and also paste it here, and then put here or where. So if you want to do that, what you do, you saw if I put here 4, okay, if I put here 4, what will happen is it will not come because it will be the and. So if I want to say whether there is a name of entertainment or the ID of 4, if you want to do such operation, you just simply add here another one. Okay, you just simply attach there and say or where. Or where, and then open bracket, and then put an array that's going to specify. So this one, what it's going to do, it is going to get categories which have either in this entertainment or this ID. So I mean, which has either this name or this ID. So that is how you write an O. So you see, it got for this one, it had the same entertainment. And this one, it came because it has the ID of 4. So this is how you do the O in Laravel Eloquent. Okay? This is how you do the and. This is how you do the O. So you can attach as many O's as you want. You can put maybe where O ID equals to maybe 6. So it's going to get for us where the name is either this or ID is equal to 4 or ID is equal to what? ID equal to 6. So if I refresh, you see, I'll get the same what? I don't have an item which has ID 6. Let me say 1. So I'll be able to get 1. So this 1 came because of this O, this one. And then this second one, it came because of this entertainment, which is in the name. And then this last one, it came because of what? Because of this 4. Okay? So that is how you do it. So another way of getting an O, you can as well do it like this. You can as well pass a single without an array. Say single parameter without an array. Let us assume that you want just to pass a single one. Okay, just only one. Let me do like this. Come here and copy and put this one here. So let us say that you just want to get the single one. So let me remove all these. Okay. So in case of doing, for example, of course, we're going to get for us here the one which has. But in case of doing this, there is another way you can do it. You can just simply, if it is just only one, you can just simply put like this. Okay. And then instead of putting an array, you put a comma. So you pass the column name and then put a comma and then pass the condition that you want to be compared with. So like this, it will be able to get for you what? It will be able to get for you, it will be able to get for us something which has a specific, which is almost the same as passing an array. So this is another way of how you can do this, okay? So in case you have just only a single item, a single parameter or a single condition, instead of passing it in an array, you can as well pass it like this. But put the column and then put the condition, okay? So you see, we just achieve the same thing. So another thing we're going to see, what if you want to maybe to group an ID, okay? Let us say maybe you want to get items which have either 1 or 2 or 5, something like that. So to do that, you use where in, okay? So let us say, assume that you want to get maybe a group of students who are remaining with the specific balance, and these students are already in an array. So you want to see where they are contained. Maybe they're already in a certain array. So here you use what you call where in. So where in, it will do what? It will look for items which have that specific what? That specific category. So you just simply put where in like this, okay? So what you do, you put only an array of ID. So you can put 1 or 2 or 3. So like this, if you refresh, there's an error. So you can pass, I think, first the column ID, like that. So you see, I repeat. So what if you want maybe to group an ID? To get maybe a list which has a specific condition that can be grouped. For example, you want to get students which have maybe a specific ID. Just like here, you want to get maybe categories which IDs are in a certain group. For example, 1 and 2 and 3. So what we do, we put those IDs in an array, and then we put where in, and then we put what we want to specify, and then you put the what? The group of those IDs, okay? So if I refresh and I do the same thing, so if I refresh, you see, I'm able to get an item with the ID 1, ID 3, and ID 4. So if I mean that if I put here, maybe instead of 3, I put 5, it will bring me 1, 2, and 5. So I hope you have understood that. So that is where in. There's another one where you can say maybe only. So with only, it will get for you items which are having ID that are specified only. So if you put except, it will give you items which have the ID, which don't have an ID that belongs that what? That except. So there are so many that you can come and play with from here. So another thing that I would like to show you is now the order by. So with order by, you'll be able to order in a certain condition that you want. For example, you see it is beginning from 1 up to 5. But what if I want to begin from 5 up to 1? What I will do, I'll have to implement the order by. So let me go ahead and do that here. So I'll come here and put order by like this. So to implement the order by, you just simply put the condition just like the way it was, but only here before get, you add another function. You call another function, which is order by, you can write in capital letters, you can write in camel case, no problem, and then put a bracket, put a bracket, and then here specify what you want to order by. So I can say maybe I want to order by the ID. So I can say I want to order by ID, and then I put comma, and then you put here the order that you want to follow. So I can say in descending order by putting desk. So desk is the abbreviation of descending. So if I refresh like this, you'll see I'm able to get this one. By the way, you can as well pass an empty parameter here with an, an parameter with an empty array. It will also get you everything with no condition. So not where in, just put where like this, okay? To get for you with no what, with no conditions. You see this one here. So and you can see the order, order by ID desk. Okay, it has got for us ID beginning from 5 up to 1. So if I put order by ID ask, that is abbreviation of ascending, it will get them for us from what? From 1 up to 5. So that is how we order in Laravel Eloquent. Okay, so that makes our today's class. So, and I hope you've understood how you can relate your tables to your project using Laravel what? Laravel Models Eloquent. So we meet in the next video. We are going to go much more deeper with these what? With these models. And don't miss, because we're going to look at more interesting things such as relationships, etc. So don't miss, and see you there.